I love how the stimulant makes me feel. Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and I drink too much coffee. This is Rarebird Coffee from the future with advanced technology. Instead of having caffeine, this coffee has PX, which supposedly gives you all the benefits of caffeine without the anxiety and sleep disruption. Basically, none of the jittery bad stuff. In this video, I will be putting it to the test for a week to see if I am better off with PX instead of caffeine. And of course, I will dive into the sciencey explanation behind this soon. But first, let's just see what it tastes like. Now, what do we think? Tastes like coffee. Tasting notes of chocolate, brown sugar, citrus. Yeah, it tastes like a not too harsh, normal coffee.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
From my expert brewing. Do you want to try some? Yeah?
Yeah, that's good flavor.
You have had a 400 milligram day before. I know it.
Multiple. It doesn't do anything. I don't do anything. 1 cup, 2 cups, no cups, whatever.
So there are different genes for this, and you seem as though you are a fast clearer of caffeine, which means you won't feel the effects as much when you first have it, and you will get it out of your system faster. I, on the other hand,
You have a sip and you're like,
so that means it'll take longer to get out of my body, and it will disturb my sleep more. Hence, I'm trying this.
I love coffee because I love the taste, but I'm not like, oh my God, I love the feeling coffee gives me.
So you could have decaf. Ugh.
No, but then it's like decaf. What is decaf?
A decaf, also known as a why bother. Day 1. This morning I was starting to get a headache because I'd put off shooting the intro of this video, which means my coffee was delayed. But once I had the PX, the onset of the headache went away. So that's a good sign. But the reason that I was getting a headache is, well, we need a flashback to explain. This is my last cup of coffee before going off the juice. I've been drinking espresso, which is 170 to 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is a lot for me, and it took me a while to get there. Let me explain. You may have seen my caffeine detox video. After I go off caffeine for a week, I start back at 80 milligrams, and of course that gives me a buzz. And then when I stop feeling it, I add a little more, and I keep adding more over several months, trying to stay sensitized to the caffeine, but still feel the buzz. I want to get high. I love how the stimulant makes me feel, but drinking a bunch consistently would make my body adapt, and I wouldn't feel that anymore. So now that I'm at a whopping 200 milligrams, which is still half of what the FDA recommends as the cutoff, I would do a detox, but instead I'm gonna try Rarebird. And now back to the future. Day 2. Speaking of being careful with caffeine, I'm having my Rarebird at the same time that I would usually have my coffee, which is before 2 p.m. That is my cutoff to make sure that my body can get rid of it before I have to go to sleep. So coffee has a half-life of about 5 hours, which means if you have a 4 o'clock coffee by 9 p.m. when you are winding down to sleep, there is still half a cup of coffee in you. And that half-life varies depending upon your genetics and your body type and chemistry. So it could be 1.5 hours, it could be up to 9.5 hours each. So if you are having caffeine late in the afternoon, I would suggest moving it earlier and see if your sleep improves. It's now 3:30 and I need to go to sparring. And my boxing coach hosts sparring in the evening and never earlier, so I can never have pre-workout caffeine to help boost my performance. But PX has a shorter half-life than caffeine. It's about 3 hours, so your body clears it out faster, which means because of Rarebird, I get to try having a stimulant before boxing at this late in the day. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. It feels illegal. Christine, look at this. I'm having coffee at 3:30. She's baffled. Also, I don't believe in caffeine crashes. Stay tuned because I'm going to explain that. Biking to sparring, I was in a great mood, which is crazy because I'm usually all stressed and dreading it. And then sparring, I kind of forgot about the stimulant. I'm always just super cortisol fueled through all of it, so it was hard to tell any difference. But now will be the true test. Can I wind down and get good sleep? And the answer is yes. I got tired at 12:30 last night. So tired that I didn't film to tell you about it, but if I'd have had caffeine instead of Rarebird, I would have totally been not tired, but wired. We're on day 3, my 3rd cup of Rarebird, and I'm having it at the same time that I usually have coffee, which is very specifically 2 hours after I wake up. Let me explain why, and this will also help you understand why I don't believe that caffeine crashes actually exist. Caffeine affects this thing in your body called adenosine, which is the sleepy chemical. Adenosine builds up throughout the day, and when there's a bunch of it in your body's like, oh, I need to pass out. Now, caffeine blocks your adenosine receptors, so there's adenosine in your body, and you should be tired, but you don't feel it because caffeine's getting in the way. So as this chemical builds up throughout the day, you go to sleep, and your body starts to clear it out while you're sleeping, so then you wake up. But it's not fully cleared out. There's still some hanging out in there for the first 2 hours. So if you drink coffee while it's still hanging out, then you don't feel it, you wake up, but as soon as the coffee starts to wear off, you feel the adenosine again, and that sucks. And that is your caffeine crash. Now, if you wait 2 hours, your body will clear out the adenosine like it's supposed to, and then drink your coffee. It will hit so much harder, and then you won't feel adenosine later because you will have cleared it out like you're supposed to. And I learned that paraxanthine works on the same pathway, so that's why I'm also waiting 2 hours before I have it. And if you experience a caffeine crash, just know that it's in quotes, and if you try this adenosine window thing, you might not feel it. Remember when we talked about half-life and the problem with caffeine is that it takes forever to get out of your body? It can't be a crash and take forever. It can't be both. Look at this graph. It goes up and then it slowly goes away. There's no up and then down. This graph scienced and proved that I'm right about no crash. Your afternoon crash might also be coming from a high glucose spike that then crashes you down because your lunch was not good for you. I've talked a lot about glucose in other videos, so we don't need to dive into that, but feel free to go look through my library about other crashes. You had to know I was measuring very carefully this whole time. 6 grams of Rarebird equals 60 milligrams of paraxanthine, and so I've been making sure to get 200 milligrams of paraxanthine to match what I've been having with caffeine. Okay, this is not what I was going to talk about today. I was planning on saving all of the sleep data to the end when we've collected the full test's worth, but I had to show you my Aura gave me a crown 88. I haven't seen that score in, I don't know, ever. Saying my sleep score is above typical range. Also, my mattress is saying, are you feeling well rested? Your sleeping heart rate was 7% lower than usual last night. And my Whoop agrees. Wow, peak day. Now I gotta work really hard because I recovered so well. Anyway, that's incredible. Now to what I was gonna tell you about today. The people at Rarebird told me that the milligrams of caffeine and milligrams of PX are roughly the same in terms of their stimulatory effect. Kind of, maybe. Some people report PX feeling stronger than caffeine. Some people report feeling that it's weaker. And Rarebird was telling me that the people that feel like it's weaker might be because they're used to caffeine hijacking their fight or flight response, so they think that's what awake is, but really they're just stressed out. And that very much resonated with me. If you saw my video about having high cortisol, a clinical nutritionist told me this exact thing. I was like, oh, I feel awesome. And she's like, no, you are stressed out, and it's gonna stop feeling awesome if you keep having this much stress. So I'm calmly sipping my Rarebird and wondering if this is gonna, almost spilled, make a difference in my cortisol and stress response. But who cares if I'm stressed out? If I'm sleeping as well as I did last night, I can recover from the stress. So all of this is already pointing towards awesome. And as for how PX feels to me subjectively, I am about 100 milligrams into my cup today and feeling awake and focused. And so I think actually I am one of the people that senses it more, surprisingly, which also means that I've been taking longer to finish my cup because I'm already feeling it, and that's okay because it has a shorter half-life, and so I don't have to feel bad about that drinking this into the afternoon. Another peak day from Whoop. I don't think I've ever gotten 2 in a row. This is crazy. And I had 3 servings of pasta before going to bed last night, which I usually thought, oh, that's definitely what's screwing my sleep. But now this is making me rethink my everything. While I'm enjoying my peak day and my Rarebird, let's talk about what paraxanthine really is. So it's a metabolite that naturally occurs in your body. When you have caffeine, your body breaks it down into PX. And it has all of the effects of caffeine, the good stuff like focus and energy and performance in the gym and wakefulness and feel good. All of the reasons that I love caffeine. But then PX is also shown to be less likely to give you all of the reasons that you hate caffeine. So less negative side effects like jitters, irritability, nervousness, anxiety. Caffeine has actually been shown to increase anxiety, and PX removes anxiety. I would have been fine with them saying, oh, we're just not gonna make you anxious, but they actually take some away. They meaning a metabolite that I'm anthropomorphizing now, but you get it. The more I'm looking into PX, I have to bring this up, it's been shown to boost nitric oxide production and increase endurance and grip strength and muscle mass. So I've been doing the same CrossFit workout in my training once a week at the same time for a while now, and last night I shaved 29 seconds off of my time, and this workout's only about 7 minutes, so that is a huge improvement. Now, I'm very hesitant to say that this was a result of PX. I would much rather say that it is a result of all of my hard work on cardio thus far. I'm sure you saw that I announced I'm going to do Creator Clash 3, and I am very nervous and working my freaking butt off to make sure that I don't suck in the ring. So the only definitive thing that I'm presenting to you is that PX has been shown to increase energy and endurance, and last night I did a great job on energy and endurance. Been testing my blood pressure first thing in the morning once a week for 10 weeks now. It's a part of what my nutrition coach for boxing wants me to send in to him to track. So we have the data. Let's find out what my blood pressure is doing now that I'm on Rarebird instead of caffeine. 116/74 and pulse 55. That's pretty low for resting heart rate, although, yeah, these numbers are pretty much on par with all of my past readings, which were all done before stimulant, before I had coffee, and this is also before I had Rarebird. This is decaf coffee. Shh, what am I doing putting a different beverage in the Rarebird video? It's before my adenosine window, so I'm having this, and then I will have Rarebird. We'll get to that. Anyway, what I'm saying is I don't have any data about what my blood pressure does after caffeine, although I could just do that. Yeah, okay, stay tuned. At the end of this video, I'm gonna have regular caffeine and see what my blood pressure does compared to now. Final day of the test. Now, I wouldn't be an outrageous guinea pig for you if just the whole time I drank a conservative amount. So this mug contains 300 milligrams of PX, and by comparison, I've never had that amount of caffeine in a sitting. So we will see if I get anxiety and the jitters. Feeling good. I just took a walking meeting and I liked the person I was talking to way more than I should have. That is a great sign. And I had to get up earlier than usual today to get a video live on my art channel. So I should be groggy right now, but I'm not. But it doesn't feel like this hyped up energy. It's, I don't know, clean. That's what they say on the Rarebird website, and I don't even know what that means, but that's what it is. I also want to mention this morning, another optimal from Aura, and my sleep score above my typical range, which again, I had 3 servings of pasta right before bed last night, and I thought for a very long time, for sure, it was carbs before bed that was destroying my HRV, and I'm learning that it may have been my extreme sensitivity to caffeine. I made it to the evening just fine. I survived 300 milligrams for you, and I should mention that if it would have been 300 milligrams of caffeine, I would not have been just fine. I would have wanted to throw up. Day 8, this should be the wrap up, but I am enjoying this Joe, so I'm going to extend this challenge and gather more data. Okay, this has to end sometime. I gotta do the blood pressure test after regular caffeine. So I'm calling it. This is my last cup of Rarebird, and then 20 minutes after this, I'm gonna test my blood pressure and do the exact same thing tomorrow with, gasp, regular coffee. 119/76, pulse 55. Now, before the second blood pressure test, let's see if my cortisol has improved. That would be remarkable. Yes, I got stabbed for you, Pellies. I should get my results tomorrow so we can compare to my lots of previous cortisol tests that were all very high, see if it comes down. And now, this is regular coffee. I gotta go back on the juice to see what it does to me. Why am I nervous? Except nerves will affect my blood pressure. I'm not actually nervous. I'm pretty excited to see if this feels any different after not having had it for a while, and also what it does to my blood pressure. So go. I survived. I can't say I feel too crazy different, but let's see if it has an effect on this. 83/59. That seems wrong. I just looked it up and that is in dangerously low category. Let me just try this again. Something's up. Error 0. Apparently I'm so stressed out, I stressed out the machine. Okay. The battery just died. Okay, we are re-batteried. Take 3. 113/71. Okay, that seems sensible. And that is pretty much on par with all of my other past readings. So I guess results inconclusive for this test. And join my Patreon if you want to see me get a better blood pressure device. My cortisol results are in. And if you saw my MitoHealth video, my most recent reading before Rarebird was 55.5. That is the score to beat. Now, after switching to Rarebird, I'm at 47.0. So it is better. We are in the right direction, down. Although it is still very much out of range, and I knew this. The cortisol solution for me is not just going to be about stimulants. It's going to be a long-term thing and dealing with other stresses, but I'm glad I have the stimulant thing solved. In general, you saw throughout the video, I'm a big fan, and you saw how it improved my sleep scores. Let's just look at my sleep score from last night after going back to caffeine. Uh-oh. I'm no longer getting crowns from Aura. And this is extra crazy. Last night I got 3 whole minutes of deep sleep. That's terrifying. I mean, my deep sleep is usually abysmal, but it did get better on Rarebird. Look at this. The night before, 1 hour, 27 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour. That's crazy. I usually fall much lower and keep getting red scores. But the biggest change for me was just learning this fact that I found out through making my own video, that caffeine activates your stress response, and that sounds freaking awful. And there's something else you can have that's a stimulant that feels good that does not do that. And so I don't know if I want to ever go back to regular coffee, and I can't believe I'm saying that. But if you want to try Rarebird for yourself, I'll put a link in the description, see how it feels. And if you liked this, you'll like seeing when I did a morning cold plunge for 15 days in a row. I'll put that down there for you. Oh boy. Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and I just woke up. And this is a cold plunge. In this video, I'm going to attempt to cold plunge first thing in the morning for a bunch of days.